What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at how to make a pretty easy auto smelter. Now, the reason I'm doing one of these is because there is a glitch in Bedrock Edition. I don't know if it's in Java or, you know, mobile, whatever, but certainly in Bedrock Edition there's a kind of XP glitch where you can get a ridiculous amount of XP, and all it uses is the classic old auto super smelter farm way, you know, because these smelters have been around for what, 5-6 years like this. I swear I've been making these on Worlds for a very long time. Some of you might know these as, you know, the double smelters or whatever, but yeah, these have been around a long time. The only difference here is you send, instead of just having the two together as you would maybe standardly have, to increase it, you add a couple of rails at the top and the back, and then send a minecart across to fuel it and everything like that. So yeah, we took a little bit of time. It really didn't take too long at all, but I'm pretty sure there's been maybe some kind of hotfix, at least partially, because when it was finally done, the XP rates just weren't as great. Like, it was still good, still getting, you know, to level 30 in 5 to 10 minutes, but not quite as good as it used to be. So I basically built it, again, super easy. It was one of them things where I knew what I was doing, and then there was like a couple of bits of XP, and so I got a picture up online. I'll link down below as well a tutorial for either this one or one very similar if you guys want to check it out. And then, because I'd kind of built it outside, I'd basically broke a hole into our house. So I then had to go across and terraform it all, and I basically put a big dome head on it, and then later on I would go back and just terraform it with the outside so it didn't look so silly. But yeah, that was how I started the episode. This alone, like I say, took an hour, and the hour was mainly just getting the iron needed for it, because there's no iron farm at the minute, but it was, well, super easy. Now, after very quickly doing that, I wanted to start the next sort of, I say, big project for the world, and this was my spud shack, my potato shack. I'm sure we're going to come up with a proper name, and this is a little business I'm going to be doing alongside one of my good friends, Jamie. And the idea for me kind of started initially as I wanted to take the XP idea and still be able to make a ton of XP, and also maybe sell, you know, to other people the fact that they can get loads of XP, but then also do something with potatoes for no reason other than we had quite a lot of potatoes. And so I think it was initially gave the idea of turning it into a potato shack or something, and then it kind of went out of hand, and instead of a shack it became like a potato mansion. It ended up being a lot bigger than I thought. Maybe not mansion size, but it was quite big. So I went and placed the smokers down. It's the first time I've ever really used smokers as well. It's never been something that's really been too needed before, but it's a cooler looking block, I guess, that doesn't get used all too much. So yeah, there's that. But I went to place it down, made a super tiny little smelter thing in order just to see if the XP was working for it with the baked potatoes, and then getting loads of baked potatoes. I was rudely awakened here by a skeleton. You know, I'm just trying to sleep my day away, and this guy comes up and starts some mad beef with me, you know. Bit of a bonehead move if you ask me, but I carried on, and then I started getting the foundation down for the actual shack itself. Now, because I'm going for this kind of semi-medieval tone, and I say semi-medieval, you probably think, well, how can it be semi-medieval? You know, what are you going to do? Put really dark blocks and then just shove quartz in there just to, you know, modernise it? No, nothing like that. I do medieval basically in every world I do. It's kind of my main style, but I wanted to try and not make it too dark with the dark oak that I'd usually use, or spruce, and mixing it in with maybe some coloured terracotta to offset it all. Nothing like that. I wanted to use oak because oak's so easy to get. It's the easiest wood type. It's absolutely everywhere, and because of the new texture pack I'm using, it gives it a kind of slight tweak as well. And so, like I say, I wanted to use it nice and easy to get, and it looks still very good. I think it's the most easy to build with in the most amount of styles. So I did the classic where I built it, I don't know, maybe 8 blocks tall, 9 blocks tall, something like that, and this was just for the first floor, because my idea was, and I like to usually hop onto a creative world to get some ideas sorted, or I even kind of draw what I think they're going to be like down. And my idea for this one was that the bottom floor was going to be like a restaurant, so it's going to have seats in there, it's going to have decorations, there's going to be some lanterns sat on tables with some cups and plates or whatever, something like that. And then I'm going to have to one side of the bottom floor as well, away from all the chairs, is kind of the ovens, so the smokers in this case, where you're going to be able to go there and get your XP if you want, or if you just want to go in and get your actual food, you know, you want to buy a few stacks of potatoes for a diamond or something, then there was that option as well. And that was first floor. Now, second floor was going to be probably just storage, and a lot of it, because in order to get this to work, if we're selling, let's say, I don't know, 3 stacks of potatoes, baked potatoes for a diamond, and then the use of, I don't know, getting to level 30 with the thing anyway is 5 diamonds, which I feel like is fair. You know, to get all the way to level 30 is a very good trade. I think for that alone I'm going to need a lot of storage for uncooked potatoes, so people can bake them themselves to get the XP. I'm going to need a lot of storage for the baked potatoes because they're going to be selling a lot. I'm going to put a few shacks around the place as well, and little like caravans to sell them at, which I think is a cool idea. And then I'm also going to need a lot of area to do some redstone in order to put the lapis in and let the lapis shoot out so you can get it when you need it. So, like I say, the second floor may seem kind of pointless when I'm putting a lot on the first floor, but it will have its uses as that, you know, I guess staff area where we go up, we try not to yawn like I was just trying not to, and then you can get whatever you need to get. But like I say, I carried on, I got the foundation in as you do on all good builds, I put the supports in, and then added the logs around the top as well, then started on the roof, and the roofs are always really annoying, because I used to build roofs like this, so I would always do a straight roof, a 1 by 1 by 1 roof, just using stairs to progressively go up. And then I started using this roof technique, where I'll build a stair, and then maybe I'll go up a block, so I'll miss one step and then build on top of that block, and then maybe 2 or 3 blocks, and that gives it a really tall, grand kind of look, and I really like it. But then it comes down to placing the stairs. Now this is the most infuriating thing in all of Minecraft for me. So whenever you're placing stairs, you do this awkward little dance with it, where do you slowly walk across yourself and risk falling off, or do you crouch on it? But then sometimes when you place the stairs, if I place them upside down, it knocks you off. It gets so infuriating. And then there's what kind of textures do you want for it, because you can't just build a roof in all one texture. You don't understand how boring that looks in Minecraft. You build it out of just cobblestone or just oak, it just looks like one plain block. It really does. So I chose to go for a mix of oak stairs, andesite stairs, cobblestone stairs, and normal smelted stone stairs, and then the normal block variants of them, obviously, for the filling in of the other bits. So there was that. Now at this point I'd got the majority of roof done, and it may seem, I mean, this took me what, 4 hours to do, which sounds ludicrous, but I didn't have scaffolding at this point, so every time I was placing roofs and having to change between 4 different block pallets, I was then having to go back to the base, get more materials because I couldn't carry it all, come all the way back, build all the way back up, remove the dirt that I'd previously put to get up, then add more and more and more, and then I didn't have enough blocks to finish certain things, or I'd fall off the roof many a time, which I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 in this video, but you'll see me falling onto the roof, and it got so frustrating. And like I say, these are the worst things I could possibly deal with, is just roofs. I could do anything else, I could mine a big old hole for years and years and years, never get bothered, but roofs just really wind me up. But I slowly went on after all the misplaced and after all the quite frankly ridiculousness that I went through, all for the sake of potato kind over here, you know. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, he's building a potato shack And he's not building a pickle shack. Well, you just wait. I am going to be building a very special project on this world that I think may blow a few people away, which I'm going to amply name Pickle Pillars. Now, you'll see what I mean pretty soon. I think that may be the next project, or the one after that. But, yeah, I carried on going. It was tedious. I'll more than likely skip to the next bit now, so you guys don't have to watch me. This is double speed as well that you're watching now. This is double speed, and this is taking so long. So I will skip on to the next bit where the roof and the build is pretty close to being done. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to skip straight back to the terraforming bit. I told you guys I'd show you that I was terraforming. I figured that I'd put a quick double speed thing here so you can see me kind of badly terraforming, because usually I'm pretty good, but for some unknown reason the terraforming here just wasn't great. I do need to come in with some flowers, some plants, a little waterfall, stuff like that, but it was basically throw dirt everywhere and to try and make it look slightly more natural than it currently is. I don't think the end result was too bad, and it certainly hides the fact that I've just added an entire room of dirt that still is yet to be done to this day. But yeah, so, you know, have fun watching this for the last 15 seconds of me talking. Anyway, enough of that boring kind of clips. I don't know. I said that boring twice there. That was a bit weird. But I carried on. I at this point got the roof in. I just needed to connect the actual roof to the building. At this point, it was just a floating triangle. But I like to do all the detailing and everything else at the very end, because that is super quick to do. I'd got the flooring in on both floors, and now it's just thinking of the design for the windows. I was like 50-50, I could probably say, on what design I wanted. It ended up changing it a little bit here and there, but you don't want to do just massive windows, because it's not a modern build and it would look out of place. But you don't want to do tiny windows either, because then it would just look like a solid block. So went for a fairly simple design and got everything in, and all that was left to do now is to actually finish the build. As in, I just need to make the build actually usable now, and I'll show you how far I've got so far. So this is it up to now. It is far from done, and by far from done I mean it's like half an hour away from being done. My idea is to hang a couple of chains down, maybe add some lanterns on it. As you can see, I need to move the actual smelting machine, but there's so many potatoes in there at the minute that I'm kind of scared there's going to be a potato explosion somewhere. But we are very close, very, very close, and I'm 100% sure in the next episode this will be done. And I'm going to show you guys some of my decorating tips as well in the next episode, because I think that's super important. And if you're noticing in the background that I'm walking around, all of a sudden there's just random things placed, you know, between each of his episodes there is a fair few hours of various things. So, you know, people obviously hop on, add things to a world, just if you're wondering, you know, why. Say hello to this little creeper and then build my base as well. And that'll be it for today's episode, guys. As always, if you enjoyed, maybe like, subscribe, I don't know. I can't force you. I cannot. Although I will say, you know, if you do like and subscribe, there is a 0% chance that you will not find potatoes. Now, I don't even know what that sentence means, so you make of that what you will. As always, stay safe. I'll see you next time.